Today I will be doing the Harry Potter spells book tag, if you can't tell from my wand. This tag was originally created by Turtle Sympathy, but their video is not up that I can see anywhere on YouTube, so I can't really link it below, but I will leave the questions down below. I know that I'm a little late to this tag just because it was going around a few years ago, but first off, I wasn't around on BookTube a few years ago. Second, I'm in the middle of my Harry Potter reading marathon, so I'm like, Harry Potter state of mind, let's do a Harry Potter video, ha 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 ha. Which brings us to our first spell, Expecto Patronum, a childhood book connected to good memories. Now, I don't know if this is cheating to use this book in this tag, but I have to say Harry Potter, because this was a huge bonding experience that I had with my mom. She would read this to me as a bedtime story, even when I wasn't able to read. So I would be just sitting in my bed all tucked up, my sister would be too, and my mom would just be sitting there reading Harry Potter, making different accents for everyone and going like hardcore with her voices. My sister hated it. She really did have fun, but I adored it. So my mom and I just have always bonded over this series, and my sister has now grown into loving it. I just really like having those memories attached to it, and my mom and I still do Harry Potter events together. Like, we went to the book release of Cursed Child together. We are planning on going to see Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them together. I will be at college at the time that it's released, so we can't really go to the midnight premiere, which I would love to do! We're trying to hold back and stay strong and go to see it together for the first time. Expelliarmus! A book that took you by surprise. I have to say Cinder, and the rest of the Lunar Chronicles, I dropped the book. Accio Cinder. I remember getting this off the shelf when it first came out, because I was like, this looks like a beautiful cover, but it sounds like science fiction, and I'm not really into science fiction. And I just remember falling in love with it. Not just the whole plot and how it has fairy tale people in it like Cinderella, but the characters are insane. And then I read the rest of the series and I just, it's so good, especially the last one. Winter is probably one of the best book series finales that I've ever read. It's so good. It just kind of brings everything together. Prior Incantato, aka the last book that you read. But like I said, I'm going through a whole entire Harry Potter reread marathon so that I can be fully immersed by the time I get to Cursed Child. And last one that I read was Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Alohamora, a book that introduced you to a genre you never tried before. Now for this one, I have to say Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. And it sounds weird, but after getting out of my Harry Potter phase, I say getting out because I've never really left, but once I moved on to other books and stopped just rereading these ones, I immediately went straight to Nancy Drew or a whole bunch of contemporary realistic fiction novels. I didn't really stay with fantasy very much. And then my dad got this book for my sister. I don't know why he did it. He just did. It was a weird moment for all of us. But then I read it, and the writing's not my favorite, but I really liked the story. I was like, whoa, what is this? Lots of creativity and imagination going on in my brain right now that wouldn't really happen whenever I read realistic fiction books. And so I have to say that Twilight brought me back into the world of fantasy, which led me to read all of these books and a whole bunch more, so thank you, Twilight. Riddikulus! A book that was funny. Now, I've read a crap ton of funny books. There are a whole bunch of funny books out there that I just love. But I have to choose The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. These books are freaking hilarious. Just Percy's narration is one of the funniest things in the world, and even in the Heroes of Olympus series, all of the characters just have this amazing humor to them. Well, I wouldn't say all of them, because some of them are pretty sad. Nico. Sonorus, a book you think everybody should know about. I had never heard of this book until a few months ago, and then I read it just last month, but I fell in love with it so much, and I've been talking about it non-stop to people, and that's Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Her writing is incredible. I just am completely in love with her style of writing. It's like frickin' music. Basically, the people in this book have good intentions, but they're just really crappy people. Very, very good book, and I just want everyone to read it, not only because the plot is really cool and because I think it talks about humanness a lot, but also just because the writing is incredible! Obliviate! A book or spoiler that you would like to forget having read. I feel like this is just a kind of obvious one, and that's Divergent by Veronica Roth. Technically, I am talking about Allegiant. I have not read Insurgent or Allegiant because I have been spoiled as to what happens in the third one. And I got spoiled the day it came out because someone was reading it and had just gotten to the end. They were sitting right next to me. They yelled it at me and told me what happened, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm like halfway through reading the first one. Why would you do that? Imperio! A book you had to read for school. Luckily for me, I have a whole entire bottom shelf down here that's just filled with old school books that I have kept. But I ended up choosing The Master and Margarita by Mikhail Bulgakov? Pronunciation is off. This is one of the coolest books ever, because one of the main characters is freaking Satan! Now basically, this book kind of switches back and forth between like old Bible times with Pontius Pilate and this Jesus character. He's not named Jesus, but it's obviously supposed to be Jesus. And the other half is set in Moscow during like the 1930s, so like Soviet Union time. And basically, Satan and some of his henchmen go to Moscow and cause a whole bunch of mischief. It's just a whole bunch of crazy stuff that goes on in this book. Crucio! A book that was very painful to read! The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin was really hard for me to read just because the entire time I didn't know what was going on. I'm that person that will read a book or watch a movie and shortly into it, I will be able to guess the ending almost perfectly. Like I will be able to guess plot points that are supposed to be spoilers or things like that. I'm very good at guessing these things, and the whole time for me, I could not figure out what the heck was happening.
Okay, is it actual paranormal stuff? Is it just in her head? Is she going insane? What is gonna happen next? What is going on?
This is not saying this is a bad book. I loved this book. I haven't read the other two yet, and I need to because I'm still freaking out over it. Every time I think about this book, I just try not to like have a mental breakdown. I still don't know what happened in it. I still don't know what's going to happen, and it freaks me out, and it's so hard for me to deal with that. It just Avada Kedavra! A book that could kill! So my interpretation is a book that is killing your feels and harming your soul in the most painful way possible. And the most obvious choice for that is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows by Miss J.K. Rowling. Yeah, and this is just the jacket, guys. You know why? You know why? Because it's sitting over there on my bedside table and I'm just about to start it after this, and I'm still not prepared. I'm not prepared. I was bawling my eyes out last night to Half-Blood Prince. Just thinking about it is hurting my heart right now, and I'm not gonna be able to handle it. I'm gonna be a mess of tears. No matter how many times I read these books or watch the movies, they still get to me. On that note, that's the end of the book tag. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Go subscribe down below if you think I'm entertaining. Comment down below if you have your own idea for what you would choose for the certain spells. Either that, or you can do this video yourself and leave a link down below that I will go see because haha, tagged you and you and you, and probably you're watching this by yourself, so there's no one around you to also get tagged. Anyway, that is the end of the video. I will see you guys next time, and bye! I remember reading, oh, hello, I'm trying to push up my glasses with the wand. Oculus Reparo!